What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm be doing today is I'm going to be doing a top round roast. We're going to be cooking this using the sous vide technique. I could easily throw this in the grill or throw it in the broiler in the oven and cook this in about 8 minutes. I think cooking it with this technique is going to give us a more tender steak as well as more flavorful, because it's going to be able to kind of marinate while it's cooking. Anyway, I'm going to be using these for tacos, so my flavor profile is going to kind of match that, especially with this seasoning that we're going to be using. Anyway, first thing we need to do is just go ahead and season this thing up. I'm going to go ahead and use some balsamic vinegar. This is just aged balsamic vinegar. And just get a kind of good coating on this. Now, I had a subscriber of mine ask me if there's a way to cook using this method without buying the vacuum sealer, because he doesn't have a vacuum sealer. And you know what? I've never tried it without that, so I went out and bought these bags. They're a lot thicker than your normal Ziploc bags. We're gonna see if we can do it with this instead of using a vacuum sealer, because that right there, you know, if you're kind of price conscious, that's gonna save you a little bit of money. Anyway, so we got our steak seasoned up. Now we're gonna hit it with this seasoning. This seasoning is called Beef and Pork Rub by Sweet Smoky Joe. This stuff right here is awesome. Love it. Links can be in the description. And we're gonna go pretty liberal on this. And here is what that rub looks like right there. It's an excellent rub. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get this in our bag right quick. Like I said, we are not gonna be using the vacuum sealer. Just gonna throw it in like that. Let me go ahead and set this aside. As far as other ingredients I'm gonna be using besides the rub and the balsamic vinegars, I have some rosemary. Just go ahead and just throw that in. Let's just go ahead and get that on both sides. And I have a couple bay leaves. I've never tried using bay leaves, but you know what? Might as well go ahead and try it. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands and we'll get this thing sealed up. All right, so one thing we're definitely gonna wanna do is get as much air out of here as possible, because we're not gonna want this to float up when it's in this water bath. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of fold this over and get as much air out as possible. And that looks like about it. Let's go ahead and get it in the water bath. As far as this cook goes, here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna cook this. I'm gonna be at work for, let's say, about 4 hours. You know, I'm gonna be slacking a little bit today, so let's go ahead and get our time set. And I have started this off with some warm water. Let's go ahead and get that at 4 hours. And temperature-wise, I'm gonna be cooking pretty low. I'm gonna be cooking it at about 109 degrees. We are gonna end up, you know, searing this off at the end, but I don't wanna have it overcooked for sure. So we're gonna go at 109 degrees for 4 hours, and it's gonna be a wrap. Let's go ahead and get our steak in here. Now I happen to be using a crock pot insert with this. Seems to work well for these larger pieces like this. And this is floating a little bit more than normal, but that's not a problem. All that we're gonna do is put some glasses on it, and that's gonna hold it down. I had a chance to let this go for about 6 hours. When I got home from work, somebody called me and wanted me to help them move a few items. So this has been in here about 6 hours. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, look like that bag works. So if you don't have a vacuum sealer, you might feel free to go ahead and rock one of these bags. Looks very tender. I'm gonna go ahead and pat this dry. I already have my broiler on, and we're just gonna go ahead and do it in the oven. 500 degrees on broil for maybe 2 minutes aside. One thing that I am gonna do that I wasn't sure that I was gonna do when I first started this was I am gonna go ahead and spray this down with some olive oil. and then just hit it back with a little bit more of this seasoning. And here's that seasoning. Links in the description. Go pick up 2 or 3 of them bad boys. My oven should be ready in about another 2 minutes. Finish this up. I have it on the highest rack possible in this oven right now. 2 minutes. That 2 minutes is up. Let's go ahead and pull it out, take a look. You know what, that looks good. Let's just go ahead and flip it on over. Go another 2 minutes. All right, so that's another 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and pull this bad boy out. I'm gonna let it cool down a second. We're gonna go ahead and slice it up and get it ready for these tacos. All right, so it's time to cut into this. I'm gonna tell you, this house smells good right now. Anyway, these grains are running a little bit tricky. Let's go against the grain, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this pretty thin. Like I said, we're gonna be making some kind of a taco tonight with this. Woo-hoo-hoo, that is looking good. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna finish slicing this, go ahead and plate it up, and let y'all take a look at this, because this is looking tremendous. So that's what it looked like all close up. I'm gonna tell you, it looks good to me. I'm gonna get into this when we're done. I'm gonna come over here and hook up a little bit of margarita action. Anyway, let's go. Very tasty, I'm gonna tell you. Now, typically I ought to finish this out on the grill. I threw it in the broiler. You know what, if I really wanted to get that outside kind of crusted up, maybe a skillet with some oil. I might try that next time. Anyway, as far as the taste goes, it's banging. It's gonna go great with these tacos I'm making tonight. I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. Comment, subscribe, I'm out.